We've heard from so many of you about that feeling being completely swamped running your small business.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're wearing a dozen different hats and just spinning all the plates at once. It's exhausting.
It's a story we hear constantly. I mean, when you're building something from the ground up, those neat job descriptions, they just kind of melt away.
Right.
And suddenly you find yourself doing, well, everything. Marketing, customer
Yes.
service, making the coffee.
Exactly. And that's precisely what we're digging into today. This whole idea of wearing all the hats. We've been looking at this article, wearing all the hats. Here's how to delegate your workload using Agentic AI.
Mhm.
And it really, really speaks to this challenge, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And what's fascinating, is that initially that whole DIY approach, it can feel quite empowering, maybe even like a badge of honor.
Sure, you feel resourceful.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But the article points out, and it's a really sharp point, that there's a tipping point.
Mm.
It shifts from being resourceful to actually hindering your progress, your well-being,
Yeah.
too.
Hindering. How so? It becomes a bottleneck.
Yeah, precisely. It's no longer about efficiency. It becomes a major bottleneck.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Beyond just feeling overwhelmed, what are some of the maybe less obvious downsides the article mentions when you're constantly stretched so thin?
Well, yeah, it's more than just being busy.
Right.
The article touches on several really critical areas. Think about um, delayed responses to customers. That can erode trust fast.
Oof. Yeah.
Or missed opportunities just slipping by because you're totally caught up in the day-to-day grind. You don't even see them. And even
Mhm.
something fundamental like consistent, high-quality customer support, that can really suffer when your attention is just pulled in too many directions.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, when you're jumping between fires constantly, something's got to give.
Yeah,
Something gets neglected.
precisely. And then there are the personal costs, which the article really emphasizes. The constant stress, that,
Yeah.
mental fatigue from making endless decisions.
Decision fatigue. Yeah.
That's the one. And crucially, just no time left for the big picture stuff. Strategy, vision, or honestly, even just taking a break.
And the article's ultimate conclusion on this, it's pretty blunt, isn't it?
It doesn't pull any punches, no. It says trying to keep up that level of constant multitasking.
Hmm.
It's basically a recipe for burnout.
Right.
It's just not sustainable. Not for the business long term, and definitely not for you personally.
Okay, so paints a clear picture of the problem there. Now it introduces this really interesting potential solution. Agentic AI. For those of us maybe just familiar with like basic automation, what is agentic AI? What makes it different?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. The level of independence is the key. So unlike basic automation that just follows preset rules for very specific tasks,
Like an auto reply or something.
exactly like an auto reply, Agentic AI, it operates much more like an autonomous digital team member.
Yeah.
It can actually make decisions, within certain boundaries, of course. It can manage entire workflows, start to finish, and communicate across different channels: voice, email, messaging. Think of it like this. Basic automation is setting up that auto reply. Agentic AI is more like hiring a virtual assistant who can read the email, understand it, figure out what needs doing next, maybe even schedule a call.
Wow. Okay. So it's not just executing commands, it can actually kind of think
Yeah,
and adapt within its role.
that's it, exactly. The core difference, and the article really highlights this, is that you define the desired outcome and the AI figures out the best way to get there.
Ah, outcome versus task.
Right. It's much less about micromanaging every little step and more about delegating real responsibility to a very capable and honestly tireless digital colleague.
That feels like a really significant shift in how you'd approach delegation. Can you give us some concrete examples? Like what can this AI actually do day to day, according to the article?
Oh, absolutely. The article lists quite a few powerful examples. Imagine an AI answering your incoming calls, responding to customer questions in real time.
So you're not constantly interrupted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or an AI managing your calendar, booking appointments seamlessly, no back and forth needed from you.
Okay, that sounds good.
It can even qualify leads based on criteria you said, then automatically log them into your CRM.
Your customer relationship management tool.
Yeah, your central customer hub. Or it can follow up with potential clients automatically. You don't have to track every single one. And then there's managing email inboxes, scheduling social media, handling DMs.
It almost sounds, well, a bit too good to be true sometimes. The article uses that analogy, right? Like cloning your best employee, but with infinite energy.
That analogy really captures the potential leverage, I think. It highlights this possibility for like exponential help.
Yeah.
Now, The article does provide a practical three-step system for actually putting this into practice without getting overwhelmed. Step one is identifying those low-value, high-time tasks. Why start there?
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? The article suggests you audit your week, basically. Find those repetitive things that just suck up your time and energy but don't really, drive revenue or core goals.
Like what, specifically? Things like scheduling calls back and forth, answering the same FAQs again and again, maybe chasing up cold leads that aren't a great fit anyway, or just manually typing data into your CRM.
Got it. The time sinks.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the prime candidates to hand off to AI.
Right. The activities draining your most precious resources, time and mental energy, for a minimal return. So once you've ID'd those bottlenecks, step two is matching each task with the right AI tool.
Okay.
And the article gives some helpful pairings here.
Yes, it does. It talks about an AI voice assistant, like this Ava tool, for handling calls, then an automated inbox agent for email, an AI scheduler for appointments, a CRM-integrated chatbot for lead follow-up, and even a multi-channel AI help desk agent for customer support. It's like building your own personalized digital team.
Exactly. Finding the right tool for the right outcome. That's key. And then the third step, which sounds crucial, set it and scale it. What does that mean practically? Well, according to the article, that's kind of the magic part. Once these AI systems are set up, they just run continuously, 204/7.
No micromanagement needed.
Apparently not. No sick days, no long training periods. And that frees you up to finally focus on the high-level stuff. Strategy, partnerships, growth.
Or just taking a breath.
Or just taking a much-needed breath. Exactly. Getting some rest.
And this brings us to a really critical point the article makes, comparing this AI delegation to just hiring more people. Because often, when you're drowning, the first thought is, I need more staff.
Yeah, that's the default, isn't it?
But the article offers a different perspective.
It does. It points out that hiring, while helpful, brings its own stuff, right? More overhead costs, managing people takes time and energy, sometimes more stress. The argument is that AI delegation gives you the leverage of a team, but without all those extra costs and complexities.
And to make it real, the article includes testimonials from these SGiQ clients who've actually done this.
Right, those were interesting.
There's a consultant, a coach, who apparently got an AI, Ava, handling like 90% of calls and follow-ups, freed them up to actually lead.
Wow, 90%.
Yeah. And an e-commerce owner automated emails, appointments, social media messages, basically stopping important things from falling through the cracks.
So tangible results.
Really tangible examples, yeah. Shows the potential impact.
So the core message really seems to be, you don't have to do it all yourself. You don't have to be the superhero juggling everything.
Right.
Implementing smarter systems, specifically using this agentic AI, could be the key to getting your time and maybe your sanity back.
That sums it up well. And the article points to SGiQ as a resource for people looking to actually implement these AI assistants for different business functions.
And they're offering something for listeners too, right? If you're feeling that constant, always-on pressure, trying to keep all those plates spinning.
Yeah, a complementary automation roadmap. It's designed to help you pinpoint what specifically in your business could be automated and show you how to use AI delegation to hopefully avoid that burnout cliff.
That sounds incredibly useful.
It's really about recognizing, that just pushing harder isn't always the answer. There's often a smarter, more sustainable way. And maybe the biggest shift is realizing the most important hat you wear isn't marketer or scheduler. It's CEO. Focusing on the big picture, the direction, not getting totally bogged down in the weeds.
A really powerful thought to end on. Stop being the chief everything officer. Start being the CEO.